Okay, so let's talk about Georgia. She endures so much physically and emotionally, but is victimized in this film. Not only is she never victimized, but she's her partner's rescuer. She rescues him while having contractions, which is mind blowing and was so cool to see. How important is it to get the representation of female and not only women, but mothers, the strength and resilience of mothers represented on screen?
Yeah, I really wanted it to feel realistic. Pregnancy is not easy, and I think there's a lot of especially with influence of social media and Instagram kind of blogs about it. It can feel very simple and easy and light, and then every woman I talk to that has been through it and has had babies are like, it's pretty miserable and difficult, and there are beautiful moments, but it's brutal. It's very feral, it's very intense, and your hormones are all over the place, and your body is hurting in every way possible. And so I really wanted it to feel, realistic. And the fact that she's a young mother, in a situation where her cortisol levels would have been so high, her stress levels would have been through the roof. So we wanted to have the conflict and to not have her be this kind of perfect, glowing matriarch character. We wanted her to feel like she was bearing down and trying to get through against all odds, and the strength and tenacity that women have within them, especially when pregnant. And so that was definitely something. Everything that you said is, I'm really happy you touched on those things, because that was exactly what we hoped would come across. Yeah.
Oh my gosh, absolutely. I was just thinking as I was watching it, in the best of circumstances, it's so isolating being pregnant, because at the end of the day, even if you have a supportive partner, you're still going through all of these changes emotionally and physically by yourself. And then to have this all, this apocalyptic environment and running for your lives against these androids on top of it, it was just, oh my gosh, it took my breath away.
Yeah, same, literally.
I have to say, Georgia taught me so much. And I think there's nothing better when a film and characters like Georgia serve as important reminders of who and how we can be as people. What did stepping into Georgia's shoes and her sore ass feet teach you about yourself?
Definitely all those things. It was an interesting character to put myself into. The story is incredibly personal to our director, Mattson Tomlin. It's based off of and is a love letter to his biological parents. And so for him, I could see the amount of care, that was given to this project and this script, and the way that he wrote it and is directing it. And so I knew that I wanted to handle it with the same amount of care. And really put myself into her shoes. And definitely the feet were a funny thing that we kept talking about throughout the whole film. We're like, how much is too much, of feet shots. But it is so realistic. You when you're that pregnant, you also can't really see your toes. So you're not really putting your own shoes on and off. If you are, it's pretty darn difficult. So there was all those things that we really wanted to get right, and again, to handle with care and allow the emotion to thread its way through all those anatomical difficulties.
Absolutely. Oh, the all-stars, got to get the all-stars. Arthur says to Georgia that love makes humans selfish, and that love will kill them all. But in the end, Georgia makes the ultimate sacrifice, and that's being selfless. So how does the film explore the power of love and the idea that love does truly conquer all, even in the darkest moments?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely think that, what distinguishes us from feral animals is the fact that we, have compassion, and love, and that, when you look into evolution in a lot of ways, what brought us together and why we are why this type of humanity came about is because we were able to bind together and care for the sick and care for our elderly within our groups. And that's what allowed us to continue to grow and evolve as humans. And so it's an interesting juxtaposition in this film, being that love is ultimately the only thing keeping them alive in those current circumstances. Not the only thing, but obviously like the main thing. But on top of that, it could also be the one thing that's used against you to be your largest Achilles heel. And whether or not that could be the thing used to bring down humanity as a whole, which is super true because that's the thing that distinguishes us from machines.